Hello, hello. Yeah, we always kind of switch it up. You never know, right? You never know what life is going to throw at you, but be ready to take it. Be ready to, I think the greatest thing you can go out there and do is learn to be agile, adaptable, and learn how to pivot. If that adaptability, learning how to do hard things, pivot quickly, you can go so far in this world. I'm so grateful that my parents taught me how to just rise above. My parents had to claim, had bought a sale barn in my local community when I was about 10 years old. It was my dad's dream was to own the local sale barn. He went to school to become an auctioneer. He's one of the most amazing auctioneers on the planet, I think. And it wasn't successful. And they could have chose to let that just define them, but they didn't. They continued to still contend and provide the best education for me and my siblings. They continued to do hard things, even though financially they were struggling. The village that came around my family is astounding. And that's what happens in this room. You might be going through obstacles right now, but what's astounding that will happen when you get in a community like this is that we begin to elevate together, right? And that's what these massive momentum nights are for. And you're thinking, yes, you're hearing the powerful stories up here, but I want to talk to you about bold faith and about making bold moves. And I'm going to share some bold things that I'm believing for in this season ahead that I believe it's going to take 1,000% participation. I can't do this by myself. I need an army. And some of you in this room, you're hearing a lot about God. And I just want you to just open your hearts and your minds to just inviting God into the situation. Because honestly, I wouldn't be here today. I don't believe my marriage would be here today. I don't believe even my family and my lineage would be here today without God. So a lot of people moved here. You don't have to leave here, please. But there are some people on virtual that there's a stirring happening in you. And there might be some stirring happening in this local room that you're feeling like there's a move, there's something. And I want to remind you that you are not a tree, okay? You can move. You can move. You can pivot. You can be agile. And you can go where God is calling you to go. And so I just want to begin to open your mind. That's what Doug and I did almost 14 years ago, is we began to open our mind. And I was raised in having bold faith, but when you begin to be awakened, what happens in this process is something that, yes, I did jump off a cliff in Croatia just recently. It's like a free fall. This journey of saying, I'm no longer going to live status quo. I'm not going to blame anyone else. I'm going to take personal responsibility. Now, I'm not condoning that you need to go climb or jump off a cliff. I want to know. But this has been part of my journey. But I had to literally say over my life, I don't care what everyone else thinks about me. Honestly, you guys, they're not thinking about you. They are not thinking about your debt, your family situation, your weight. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. So I don't know why I was spending all my days, all my hours thinking about what people were thinking about me. They're not thinking about you. So get over it and go freaking create your life and live your life out loud. You were born to be a fear kicker. You're not supposed to sit idly by. I don't care what your story is. I don't know what has been stamped on your life. It is not who you are. It is not who you are. I want to remind you that you are God's highest form of creation. Your parents chose life. You're living on planet Earth at this time. And if there was ever a time that it needed some world changers and fear kickers and way makers and chain breakers to rise up, it's now. My grandmother, 5 generations back, at 40 years old, left Norway with 3 children and her husband that soon would die. Never to see her mother again. She pioneered ahead to build a better life for her kids, for her grandkids, for her great-grandkids, and now I'm sitting here today living in this crazy life, you guys. Do you ever think, I dream pretty big, but I don't know if I could dream this big. Well, I want to invite you to kick some frickin' fear in the face, because everything you want is on the other side. Sometimes you just got to jump. I'm going to invite you to jump. Jump in to the deep end of the pool. Invite God like you've never invited God before into your life, into your marriage, into your future. I want to tell you, your future is not against you. Your future is not against you. Your past is not against you, actually. Everything you've gone through in your life has made you acutely aware of being able to connect with the people that you get to connect with. Whether it's a 2-year-old little girl that you look into her eyes in the elevator when her mom's telling her she's a terrible 2, and you say, no, baby girl, there's a destiny inside of you. Whether it's a guy you're coaching in the football team that his dad is a raging alcoholic, and you get to be that one voice in his life. We get to be the ones that jump into the deep end of the pool and say, we're going to make a difference. We're going to make a difference. That's why I'm here tonight. That's why I'm going to share some audacious, crazy dreams and goals with you. A pioneer goes ahead. A pioneer blazes trails. Angie Taylor, have you blazed some trails? Yeah. People thought, oh, that model of education is not gonna work. People won't pay that amount of money to send their kid to school and provide education for another child in a developing nation. Want to bet? Kenya, Guatemala, Haiti. Where else are we at? Where? Philippines. So, I mean, not only is this school impacting here in the States, but it's making global impact and raising up a generation. Here's it is. These kids will now be the front runners and the trailblazers and the pioneers. They're getting plucked out of homes that they would have never had a better destiny, and now they get to change culture. This is what we do. This is what Massive Momentum, this is what happens. This is what you're part of. So it's not by accident you're in this room. When I began to blaze trails, and this picture was taken out in a creek bed, there is water here in Arizona. Did you know that? I've had to search for it. I'm a water girl. If I could live by the ocean, I would, but God has called me to the desert. I'm believing for that oceanfront property. It's in the Sea of Galilee. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tel Aviv or something. No, I see it behind my eyes. But I had to blaze trails, and I had to go ahead and show my daughters what it was like to do hard things and to risk it all. And now I just have to tell you, I am so freaking proud of the daughters that I get to be a part of their life. And one daughter is over in Kona, Hawaii. She's been over at Circuit Riders Camp for 10 days, just getting her life rocked, meeting, I think there was 1,000 kids from all over the world that came to this camp this last week. My oldest is going off to a program, a master's commission program in Waco, Texas this fall. That's because I decided to get uncomfortable 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I was sitting in a church like this. I was really pissed, actually. I've had my moments of being mad at the church. So you are part of the church, so we're actually the people. It's not the building, so just so you know. People are people, we're all human. So I was hurt, but I didn't let that. I could have let that rob me. But I made a decision sitting in a chair like you that I was going to partner with my future self. That I believed what was behind my eyes was worth it, and that there was other women just like me raising little toddler kids at the time that wanted to have a voice, that wanted to have breakthrough in their marriage, that wanted to have breakthrough in their lives and in how they were raising their kids. So I made a way. Now, was it easy? No. This shows a picture, and this is from the chapter in my book that you learn to slay like David. And when you begin to raise up a shield of faith and begin to be bold and make bold moves, not just sit and think about it and pray about it and hope that it will get better, but you actually jump all in your life. Like, you don't just think about working out, you actually show up and you hire the personal trainer. And you show up when you don't want to, and Nate's just like, hey. I'm like, I want to punch your face. And Rachel's like, it's leg day. And I'm like, I hate leg day, but let's go. You know, like, you do, like, it's not comfortable, you guys. But being overweight wasn't comfortable. Like, it's not comfortable to go to a marriage retreat and talk about things and put, like, two old school recliners knee to knee and look at each other and have to, like, listen to everything he has to say, and I have to listen to and not say a word. It's not comfortable. It's not. But I mean, if some of my teenage amazing world changers would come join me up here, I want these amazing humans to see you. Can you come join me up here? Yes. Anyone that's like 18 and younger, come join me. Olivia. Okay, I want them just to stand here. And I want you to look at them. So what if in a year from right now, and Amaya was to say, come to me, and maybe she'll meet someone. I don't know. And she wants to have an amazing, beautiful wedding in the next 3 years. Would you be able, what if that was your daughter up there? And would you be willing to take all the action steps, take the darts, show up, make the phone calls, show another house, Allie, right? Right? Show up. Would you be willing to say no to her? Or would you show up? Show up. What about if Olivia wants to go to like a crazy expensive college in a couple years, Tina? But it's going to change your world. Would you be willing to say no to her because you weren't willing to do the work today? No way. What about Quincy? What about her parents, where she was lonely, feeling isolated? That was uncomfortable to move across. Was that uncomfortable to show up at that camp?
Scary.
Did you know anyone?
No, I didn't know one.
But you showed up? And how many friends did you have after you left that week?
Had a lot.
A lot of friends. Like, you couldn't even count it. Low. I mean, think. Your parents. Are you willing to show up and do the work? Give them a hand of applause. I love these girls. They're world changers. And you can go back. I just want them to see. I want you to know what you're looking at. Maybe I needed to have them stand up here a little bit longer. Because it's like you're looking at yourself, right? And I had to realize I'm going to take some darts. My parents took some darts to be able to give me the stones that I'm able to, like, flick back at the freaking devil like nobody's business. I'm like, oh, you want to play? You don't play with me. I'm Tom and Jackie Mann's daughter. I'm Thea freaking Wood. You don't mess with me. Do you got that? Who are you? I am freaking Buck. Don't mess with me. Come on. And I see this guy showing up every day. But you're going to take some darts, and I want you to know you can handle it. You can handle it. And maybe you're like, well, my mom didn't give me a shield. My mom didn't protect me. My dad, he didn't say anything nice to me. Well, you want that to be your narrative for your next generation? You change the narrative. You change the narrative. I want you to know this community is not just a one and done. There is things happening all the time, and you only get to hang out in the deep end of the pool if you stay in the pool. And what I have found on this journey, when I look at these kids and I see the ripple effect of not just Doug and I being surrounded by community, and that's great. I hope you guys didn't show up for Doug and I tonight. I believe that you showed up for yourself, and your future self invited you in this room tonight to remind you that you're not by yourself, that you're made for more, that there's a community of other fear kickers out there that believe that there's actually a better life, a better future. So Doug's going to take you through a process, but I want to invite you into being part of a vision that I've had behind my eyes for a very long time. I'm going to be launching the Kick Fear in the Face encounter here in North Scottsdale at Dream City Scottsdale. It's a beautiful space. We can seat about 800 people in that space. And I have been seeing this behind my eyes for a very long time. If you're new in the room, if you're a guest, I wrote my book. I wrote my whole story. Yes, I had people show up to me a couple weeks ago when we were at this big conference like, I know everything about you. I'm like, oh, you do know everything. It's like really weird when people are like, I've read your book. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know everything about me. Like I put it out there. I went raw. I went real. And I shared the deep kind of hard and the deep wounds. And then I also showed how I've journeyed through it and how I've broke through and how I live out my days. How the tools I use, the weapon, my biggest weapon is my Bible. Not probably, it is my Bible. My biggest weapon, my phone, Spotify playlist. I have like several different playlists that I know, like one's my warrior playlist. I have a worship playlist. Music is good for my soul. Some people, it's more nature. I have that too. I have to get outside. I have to get out in nature. But this encounter is going to be like nothing you have ever been part of because it's 25 years in the making. It's some of the most amazing world changers, coaches, mentors, worship front runner. Kim Walker-Smith is going to be here, Francis Infuso, Deborah Giles, Megan Valentine, Marcus and Jen Jones, Dave Blanchard, Kevin and Becca Tinter, come on, Brooke Thomas, Doug Wood, the real Doug Wood, Summer Morenz, and Carissa. This is going to be a power-packed day. I want to invite you to be part of this 2-day. There's a VIP experience, and then there's a 1-day conference. But here's why I want to share with you, because when you begin to dream and see some things behind your eyes, maybe it's in your business, it's in your marriage, and you can't think this big yet, but I thought I was in rooms like this that I saw someone else shared their vision with me, and I got to be part of that. I got to fill rooms. I've showed up to other people's conferences and got to see their vision come to life. And this isn't just a hoopla. This is where people can come and actually be equipped and empowered to go and live out their days with more purpose, with more significance. So I'm going to go one more slide. I want to just click here. Oh, okay. It's not there. It's okay. I'm missing a slide, but that's okay. I want to just let you know that some of you have dreams that you've almost like aborted, I feel like that were in their infancy. One of the dreams I have is like literally on a run about, 6 years ago, I was running. It was the first time I had ever pushed past like that 3-mile mark, and I had to run 5 miles that day to get my mileage in because I was building my body and my stamina up to go run a marathon within that next 6 months. And as I was running, I began to see a vision of this Unidome Stadium in Iowa. And I just saw it packed full of people. In the vision, like as I'm running, I saw Katy Perry coming in one angle, singing Wide Awake. I'm not joking. I saw Carrie Job come in from another angle, singing Cover the Earth. I had Kim Walker-Smith where she's singing Spirit Breakout, and then Great Is He is coming in from the other side. And like literally I'm running, this is like a major download. I'm like seeing my grandpa's tractor coming into the stadium. I'm like, it's just packed. And I'm like, this is freaking crazy. Like, why are you giving me this download? And some of you have downloads like that in business, in marketing. And I see and picture like this. Now, I'm an Iowa girl born and raised. I'm not from Delaware. I'm not from wherever you all are from, but your roots, there is a purpose. I am going to go to Norway where my grandmother left back in the 1800s. I'm going to go see the family farm. Everything is connected, you guys. I want to pack that stadium. I'm going to pack that stadium. We're going to pack that stadium. But it's going to take all of us elevating to the next level because people need us to get on their eye level and say, I see you and you're not alone. Let's go do this. Let's not do it alone. We're meant to do more. I don't want that stadium filled just with random people going to a concert. I want that stadium filled with people that believe, wow, like we're going to actually make a difference. Like, wow, our kids are part of like a cool environment, not like a rock concert. Well, it's kind of a rock concert. I just went to Katy Perry the other night. It was like, okay. Here's the crazy thing is, part of my action step, and Doug's going to invite you, part of my action steps, I was in Vegas. I'm like, Doug, Katy Perry's coming back tonight. It's like her opening show. I'm like, can we go? He's like, sure. I bought tickets. Mike and Summer drove up. They got a rental car and they drove up and we went to the Katy Perry concert. Why? Katy Perry is part of my vision. And you think, Tia, you are crazy. I know. I'm looking for the crazy ones. Do you want to disrupt the city? I do. I think Scottsdale is amazing, but I think they're going around and we need to disrupt, and people want to not live a facade. They want a real life. They want to be able to share the deep, hard things. But it's like we got to hold it all together. No, we don't. Let's figure it out together. Let's contend together. Let's pull back the onion and let's do it together. And that's my invitation to you tonight is as you step into leading, looking at the future and having a bigger vision for your life, I share these crazy visions with you because I actually believe, and I know we're going to create it because look at what we've done here tonight. It's like we just put it out there. Hey, who wants to come and get into massive momentum in your life? And you guys show up. So people will show up for your dream and for your vision, but are you going to show up for it? So Doug Wood, come teach us the ways of getting into massive momentum.